Hey there, YouTube. Ghost Jake here with you today. Or tonight, actually, because it's 3 in the morning where I live. And I'm here to do my review of Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 2. I just got done watching it on Hulu because unfortunately I was not home at 8 o'clock when it was airing. So I had to wait until 2 in the morning when Hulu put it when it was available on Hulu. But anyway, here is my review of Once Upon a Time Season 7, Episode 2. Okay, and this probably will contain spoilers if you have not seen Episode 1 yet. Okay, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Now, in Episode 7 of Once Upon a... I'm not episode... Season 2 of Episode... Season 2... Episode 2 of Season 7 took place with... It opened up in Storybrooke where on Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger, where Emma, or Hook and Henry are practicing sword fighting. And an important note for this episode, in case you haven't seen it, this was the episode that Jennifer Morrison decided to come back for at least an episode of season 7. It was this episode 2 of season 7 is the one she came back. Is the one she came back for. It was good to see her again, even though it was only in a guest starring role, not as a main character, or a reoccurring character, should I say? But anyway, after back on Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger, Henry's getting ready to take off, right? To go to the other realm. And Hook gives him some a magic, like a message in a bottle type of magic. Well, all you have to do is say the name of who you want to bring. So in Henry's case, it would be Killian and Hook, and all he had to do was and then dump it on the ground, and then the portal would open, and then they would and then everyone would come up to help go to that realm to help him if he needed help. Now we go. So that's pretty much the end of that flashback, and we go to the new realm. Not the new Curse realm, Hyperion Heights, but we go to the new realm. So also a flashback, kind of from a flashback. So, and Henry is riding his horse, escaping people, escaping the guards, because the evil stepmother, I don't exactly know her name in the other realm, but she, in the previous episode, she alerted the guards that Henry and the new Cinderella killed the prince. And right when the guards caught up to Henry, and he used the message in the bottle Hook gave him in the very first scene of this episode, and he said, "Bring Captain Hook, Emma, and Regina," and then he threw it on the ground, and then the magic when the magic came, and then the magic came, right? Nothing happened, and he got dragged off to the dungeon, and then the evil stepmother in the other realm, she's pretty much said, find because she wants to know where Cinderella is, and Henry's not saying anything, and so she tells her other daughter, to that pretty much to torture Henry and to kill him after he reveals the information about where Cinderella is hiding. Right? And then, right when she was about to start, a portal opens. And Hook and Regina come out and they rescue Henry. And they take him. And they escape, and they escape. Now we are going to Hyperion Heights, because after that happened, we went to Hyperion Heights. We see Jacinda, I think I said that right, who's actually Cinderella, but she is the. No, wait, before that we see my bad, I screwed up. Before we see her, we're in Seattle. Rogers, he knocks on Henry's door, who's Hook, and knocks on Henry's door, who's Hook, and he is pretty much saying that about a picture of Emma, because he read Henry's book, Once Upon a Time, right? Saying, it was like questioning, do you know this lady, or did you just, make her up? And then Henry's like, because Henry's, cursed still, so, and Henry pretty much just said, he made her up. And then Henry asked, him, Rogers, if he knows where. He asked Rogers if he knows where. If there's a cemetery in here, because in episode 1, Henry thought he had a family, and then the cemetery he thought was there, wasn't there. And so he wanted to, look for that cemetery a little bit. Okay, now we'll go back to Hyperion Heights. And we see Jacinda. I'm having trouble saying her name. Oh, man. Hopefully you guys get a laugh out of that when you watch this review. Jacinda, eating lunch or something, and Henry comes in there saying, pretty much, to say I'm sorry for, telling Victoria that, about telling, saying sorry to Victoria about saying sorry about, the events that took place in the previous episode, so episode 1. And then we see Rogers and the guy who plays by Rumpelstiltskin, and I caught his name this time. His name is Weaver. And we see, it's kind of funny seeing those two being paired together. But, yeah, and then they have to report to Victoria. about because Victoria doesn't want Henry in Hyperion Heights at all, and apparently the evil stepmother, like Lucy has a ballet recital, and Lucy and the evil stepmother made it where Lucy's mother cannot show up by raising the prices to like $550. So can't show up if you can't afford it. And Henry offers to pay some money, offers her to help, and then Jacinda refuses. Now we go back to the new realm. We see like Hook, Henry, and Regina in this like hut, and in this like hut, and then we see they're talking about Emma's like, how come Emma's not here? And then Hook just makes something up about her like fighting some creature or something. And then they get ready to part ways to go. I think I missed something before that. I think they, like, right after they escaped the castle, I can't believe I forgot that, but good to do, I caught myself right after they left the castle. Hook leaves to go. Search the ports because he could smell like the ocean, so there's a port nearby, and find information about Cinderella. And then while he was there, he runs into, I think it's from season 6, I believe. Season 6. I haven't watched season 6 in a while, so I might have the season wrong. But I believe it's season 6. He runs into the dream wish, the dream world Hook in this new realm. He still looks like an old man, and then he has this bright idea about wanting to switch places with Hook because they're both in love with Emma. And so what the dream world Hook does, he knocks out I guess you could say the present Hook, and then he knocks out the present Hook, and then we see knocks out the present Hook, and then he goes to the evil stepmother. I'll just call her Victoria in both realms. I think that'd just be a lot more easier. And he's like, oh, I can help you get Henry out of this realm. If you will, pretty much make me young again. And apparently, he took a little bit of, when they got in a little fight, they took a little bit of Hook's blood. And she used like the fairy godmother's wand that she took in episode 1, and did a little spell and made Hook, the dream world Hook, young again. And then he goes and he reports back to Regina and Henry. But before and Henry, asks if there's any information about Cinderella, and the dream world Hook says, yeah, probably not. I think she just left, kind of like, and then pretty much didn't like you, pretty much, crushing, like Henry's dreams of being with her, and being with her might be a little bit too soon, like in, the flashbacks, but you know what you should probably know what eventually happens if everything turns out to be true. And then we see Regina encourages the Dream Hook to go talk to Henry because she doesn't know that they switched places. And then all of a sudden, Emma appears, and then she reveals to Henry that she is pregnant. Okay, now, I think after that we had a little flash forward back to Hyperion Heights. We go back to Hyperion Heights. So Jacinda, aka Cinderella, she is looking for a job so she can attend Lucy's ballet recital, and then all of a sudden, she finds this job on this like phone app, right? And she finds this app on this phone this job on this like phone app, and about a job at the for caterers at the ballet recital, right? And anyway, during that, since Victoria Belfort wants Henry gone, she assigned Rogers and Weaver to go look through stuff, find information about Henry, and they ended up going to his apartment building and find information on Henry, and then they find like clues that he might have a daughter. It's like, oh, that's the clue, and then all of a sudden, Victoria calls them on their cell phones because the person that got Jacinda the job at the ballet recital charity event was Henry, like working as a bartender. And so that Henry was the reason why Jacinda was able to get the job. He wanted to make up for what he did back in episode 1, which is a nice gesture. So Rogers and Weaver leave Henry's apartment building, and then you notice Rogers takes something from Henry's apartment. He takes his like apartment keys or his car keys, one of the two, with him. He steals his apartment keys. There's a reason for that, because when they arrive at the ballet recital, talking to Victoria outside, and Victoria is like, yeah, okay. And it was like, and then Weaver's like, okay, let me see your like bracelet, because what they plan on doing is blackmailing Henry, so he'd get put in jail, or that he would have to leave the town and he would never be able to come back. So, right? And then all of a sudden, Rogers bumps into Henry and puts something in his pocket. But Henry doesn't know that yet. All of a sudden, after the ballet recital is over, Weaver makes an announcement that Victoria's bracelet got stolen, and they check all of the they check all of the pockets, but they check Henry's first, and what happened was Hook did not did not put the bracelet in his pocket. He put his house keys on in his pocket because he did not think it was the right thing to do. And they leave, and then Rogers is having a discussion with Weaver about being moral. And Weaver's like, "That's exactly what I want. I didn't want you to I didn't want you to answer to her. We don't answer to her, to Victoria." Okay, now we go back to the New Realm really fast. I might have said a little too much talking about Hyperion Heights. My bad. But anyway, we go back to the New Realm. After finding out the news that Emma's pregnant, the Dream World Hook goes to try to find the real Hook, right? Goes and tries to find the real Hook, and then he's not there from where he got knocked out and where he placed him. And then they start fighting, and then the Dream World Hook ends up stabbing himself. And then he, pretty much says, "Oh, he knows about Emma being pregnant," and then he's like, he couldn't go through basically with switching places, right? With Henry, I mean with the real Hook, and the real Hook goes and gets Emma so she could heal the Dream World Hook, and she pretty much does because he was able to tap into something that made him believe, and then Emma's magic worked, and then Hook and Emma are getting ready to leave. And Hook and Emma are getting ready to leave, go back to Storybrooke, probably. And then we see the Dream World Hook decides to team up with Henry. And then we have a little moment with Regina. It's like Regina's like, Henry offers her to stay. And guess what? Regina decides to stay in the new realm with Henry and Dream World Hook. They're all forming a team to look for Cinderella and go on adventures. So that's going to be really exciting. And then after they're all standing together saying goodbye to Emma and Hook, and they walk through the portal back to Storybrooke. Now we go back to Hyperion Heights, and we see a scene with Weaver. He is talking to Victoria, and he's like, "I don't answer to you. Like, you're not my employer. Like, we only agreed for so long because we share similar interests. But that can change pretty soon." Well, it kind of makes you think. You wonder if Rumple is actually awake or not, because you see flashes of him acting like himself sometimes. Anyway, then we go to Ronnie's bar, and Jacinda buys him a beer and accepts Henry's apology and says, "Okay, you can have a second chance." And then Ronnie, aka Regina, Hook, Rogers, and Henry all team up they all agree that Victoria Belfort is a big problem in Hyperion Heights. And they all agree to investigate what's going on. And then, after that, Then after that, Henry decides it'd be good to write down everything that's going on. So Henry is going to start writing again. Okay, anyway, what did I think of the episode? I thought episode 2 was, like overall pretty solid. It was pretty good to see Jennifer Morrison's character, Emma, come back for her episode. And hopefully things get better, keep getting better or going at the same pace for the previous episodes of the season. This is Ghost Jake signing off. Have a good night and take care. Bye.